Hi everyone, Coach Keon Smith here with ActionCOACH Guyana. And today we're going to have the pleasure of having a conversation with someone who I believe is super awesome, full of energy, and is the CEO of a growing business. And I'm sure you'll get to hear much more from her in a few.
Hi, I'm Shelly Nohar, CEO of Target Logistics Inc. And as Coach Keon said, we are a growing logistics company. Our main product line is to get cargo from the USA to Guyana by air and by ocean. And one of the things the customers love us for is our consolidation process and the fact that we move customers' cargo with urgency. Before I came to coaching, my thought process, did I even have a thought process? Because before coaching, I used to, singular, used to do my business by myself. Every single thing, from going to the airport, from driving, responding to messages, my son in the driver's seat, my left hand with the bottle. Oh my God, thankfully I never got caught by the police. And I never thought about coaching. I was just a single person building my business. No, not even building, in this hamster wheel, just surviving. And then when I heard about coaching, I didn't know if I needed coaching. When I heard about coaching, all I could think about was the cricket, because I'm not really into sports, just cricket. And I'm like, what can they teach me? Or are they actually going to do the work for me and I can just be like, ah. And then when I was introduced to Action Coach and I heard the investment, I was like, oh my God, how? How am I ever going to afford that? Then I had what they call was this hour of introduction and explanation. And when the business and the plan, after listening to my vision and my goals, because that's actually the very first thing that Dr. Durga did when he had his hour with me, he asked me about what my vision is and what my goals are. And those were used as stepping stones, as benchmarks, as the reason for me to learn how setting goals, daily, weekly, monthly goals, how Target is going to be able to afford the coaching. And we've actually started coaching since 2018, when the business was incorporated from Target shipping and online shopping to Target Logistics. And we've had coaching for about 1 year. And then I took a break because of personal reasons, and then got back, I believe, in 2021. So from 2021 to March 2024, every single month, coaching. And our team has grown from 1 person to now 12. There are 12 persons on our payroll. And if that is not testimony as to what coaching can do, then I don't know what is.
So when I first interacted with Shelly and Team Target, they were, as she said, she previously started, and she started with Dr. Vishnu, would have laid a really good foundation for helping her to identify her vision and goals for the business. When we started, it was her and I think it was 2 other persons on the team at that time, if I remember correctly. And still, I can sense the degree of urgency and the hunger that she had to grow her business. And what I really admired was, at that time, she had the drive. Notwithstanding, we do realize that in order for you to grow a business, and by our definition of a business, it's a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. And what we discovered is that while Target was commercial, while it had a degree of profitability, one of the key areas is creating the business that can work without Shelly having to be there 24/7. As she indicated, she went to the airport, she was the driver, she was the dispatcher. How do we channel all of those different elements of work and create systems and build a team that can run the business so that Shelly can focus on growing the business further? So right away we identified that those were some of the key elements we wanted to work on, and just making sure that we can strategize that part to make sure that the business can work without her.
The process stuff getting started and leading to where we are now was just a bed of roses. No, it wasn't. It was not a bed of roses. Oh my God. First, I had to list out my goals, like write them down. Then break them down into what needs to be achieved this week, this month, and then identify who had to do what. After that, this information had to be on a calendar, the Google default diary that was recommended that I'm now using effectively. And that was a pain for me because even though in my head I know it has to be done and I write it down, then I put some of the information on the calendar. I wasn't looking at the calendar. I needed to be reminded to look at the calendar. And I believe it's 2 times every month. We've had accountability hours with our coach, and it's now Coach Keon, where he doesn't do the work. I do the work. I would identify areas where we've won, so he knows, okay, you need to keep this up. And then there are areas that we receive challenges on, like challenges with work, processes, with systems, all the challenges. And then he would go to his whiteboard, get his colorful markers, because he would have identified that my personality really, really is a visual one. So he gets his markers and he's like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what you need to get. This needs to happen because you want this result. And we've been doing that 2 times every month ever since. And one other challenge is for me to really update my goals. So sometimes it's still painstaking. However, every single week it is because of the goals that I would have set for my business that is really the fuel behind why Target is growing.
So actually it was indicating the not so bed of roses process. It is very important for persons to understand that when you are coming to your coaching sessions, it is an environment where you're going to be stretched. You're going to be stretched in so many different ways, because what you might believe is your maximum limit, as coaches, we are trained to help you to go beyond that. Because very often when you indicate what your max is, you're still within your comfort zone. And generally that's where a lot of persons like to dwell, because it's easy for them to be in their comfort zones. So if Shelly tell me her target is 100, I open her mind. What about 200? What about 300? What would it take for you to move from 100 to 300? And what you'll find is not necessarily 3 times the effort, but amplifying the simple effort that you're doing now that can give you 3 times the results that you need to focus on. So yes, there is accountability, and many persons do not like that element of accountability because they may have been doing what they're doing for many years, and they believe that because they're the boss, they're in charge, that they know it all. Fair enough. There are a lot of bright, smart people out there, no shades intended. Notwithstanding, if you really want to stretch yourself, then come sit in our chairs, and you might be surprised where you can go. Because Shelly can tell you, based on where she started, we have stretched her level of thinking tremendously to ensure that Target can grow beyond what she had imagined. And what we would have set for 5-year strategic goal, we're coming up at 3 years and we're almost there. So just imagine if you didn't stretch yourself, you probably would have just been limited by your cap.